Greetings and welcome to another episode of our Trains in World UK Facebook group, UK Trains and Locomotives, UK Trains, Locomotives and Routes Facebook group YouTube channel. Today I'm going to take Class 395, as you can see, empty stock to Ashford International, so it's non-stop all the way to Ashford. I'm just going to switch the safety systems on, so the DSD and the back panel, and so you go to the back panel, you can see these two switches are isolated. There we go, they're on. That now means that when I set up, safety systems will be armed. So let's just do the usual. Obviously most people know how to do this by now. So all that done. Put my day running lights on. Oh. The pan's already set up, because I know sometimes you have to set the pan up when you start these services, but that's relatively simple. You just press which current. If you want the pan, you hold down Control, CTRL, sorry, and that obviously puts the pan up. And then you need to press the pan up shoes down once. That normally brings this PCB light on, and then to get rid of it, you press it again, and that usually then leaves you just a line volt light. So actually, line light, you need to have just that one light on. If you have this line light lit, either with it or on its own, you won't get power. Okay? You won't get power. So, the job today is to take this service all the way down to Ashford International empty, which is nice. Anyone else keen on can see the Class 66 over on the far side at the there's like a cement works there outside London St Pancras. That's a nice touch that's been added in. So I've chose this one because one, it's nice to go flying through the stations non-stop, but also it kind of shows you the gradients, and trying to keep this train to speed is quite something, to be honest. The gradients can be quite challenging, but also holding the speed, trying to stay at 225 kilometres, 140 mile an hour it's quite challenging. So I've got safety systems on, I've got my hood on. I play with a combination of keyboard and sometimes the controller. So yeah, it's I thought I'd give it a nice little go. As you can see at the moment, although it's telling us to go, we can't go anywhere because there is a red signal at the end of the platform. So at the moment we cannot go. Don't worry, this service, this is the 1001 service, 901 service, sorry. Yeah, empty stock to Ashford. There is a train coming in, so we have to wait for it. So don't go panicking thinking, oh, where's everybody gone? What have you. So we'll be, just have a quick look on the map just to ease your mind. There should be a train not too far away. There it is, look, coming in now. So that'll be coming in a minute. There's another Javelin there, look. They've put some extra trains, which I don't think you can see, just to kind of, fill the visual gap. Unfortunately, there's no Eurostars or any other trains in the international platforms as of yet. And obviously there's no domestic Eastman and Railway trains over in the domestic platforms on the other side, the Midland Main Line platforms. So yeah, we're just waiting for this train to arrive in from wherever it's coming in from, and then we should be able to we should be on our way. For those not too familiar with the Class 395, you've got it's a dual voltage train. Typical. First train that we see, and it's in the custom GWR livery that I downloaded from the Creator Club, which my son wanted, so we could use it on the GWA. Typical. But anyway, yeah. So the Class 395 is a dual voltage train, so it runs on both 25 kV overheads and works on 750 or 900 volt. Is it 750 or 900 volt third rail? So under the HS1. Oh, looks like we're ready to go. Let's get moving. So yeah, it uses the two different types of power, which is quite rare for a modern. Obviously, modern trains has to be built to a certain criteria anyway, because this runs obviously on HS1 and obviously runs on the domestics around Kent, which is third rail. It needs to have both. It also has the it obviously is compatible with the two different types of signalling. So that's the HS1 in-cab signalling. I don't quite know what the full term is, so forgive me. And you've got the traditional network rail. Sorry if I keep clearing my throat, I just got a bit clogged up there. Just woke up, so I feel a bit groggy. So it's also compatible with the traditional network rail signalling as well. So as it stands, Baron, once you're on the overhead, you end up on kilometres now, and you're under network rail's sort of colour light system. And then once you go towards into the tunnels, you're on the HS1's in-cab signalling system. I'm not going to go into the intricacies of how the in-cab signalling works in the sense of how it does its job, but I will briefly go over what things mean if you don't understand, and I hope to explain it. Alright, let's get a bit of speed up, because I've just noticed I'm going a bit slow. I'm actually going for a 60, ready to go into an 80. So we're in kilometres now, so it always feels like you're going a bit quicker when you're in kilometres an hour. So let's start powering up a bit as we go into the tunnel. So you do spend quite a bit of time in tunnels, especially when you come out of London. Oh. So that is now telling me I'm on in-cab signalling and I should be doing 80 kilometres an hour. I'm doing 77. This train is such a challenge to keep at speed, really is. Right, and that tells me I can now go 200. So the speeds that it suggests there is part of the signalling. So in some ways, the speed will either, it will look ahead just like signals do on traditional network rail infrastructure, like your double yellows, your single yellows, and all that, and it will look ahead and go, right, there's a train so many sections away, so we suggest we recommend you do this speed. Otherwise you'll catch that train up, and etc. Or if it's a clear line, it will tell you the line speed. So if it's 225 kilometres, it will tell you to do 225 kilometres. If it's 200 kilometres, it will tell you to do 200 kilometres. So this recommendation doesn't necessarily mean there's a train ahead of you. It could just be the speed. However, if you know your route and you know that actually this part of the railway is only 200 kilometres, you will go, oh yeah, it's only 200 kilometres long here. So at the moment, it suggests I only do 200 kilometres. The line speed is 225. Vigilance going off already. So the signalling, there you go, 225. So the signalling sections are marked out with these flags. So those yellow sideways triangles with the blue surrounds, they are the signalling flags, I suppose you could call them, which denote the section, just like going past a signal, really. And like I say, the only way you can know where you are is by controlling the speed of your train. It can be a bit off-putting sometimes, because sometimes it's difficult to tell whether you're slowing down for a speed or slowing down for a train ahead, or an inverse signal ahead. Especially when you're going on to network rail signals, that can be quite interesting. So yeah. So flying out of London, going towards Stratford International, which obviously we're not stopping at. Doing a nice steady speed of 217 kilometres an hour, which is fast. So 225 kilometres, 140. So already we're doing nearly 140 miles an hour after going out the capital. But obviously we need to start thinking about maintaining that speed. Now straight away, as soon as I take the power off, we slow down. And I've opened up now. Here's a tunnel for Stratford already, and already look, I've got full power on. Look, full power on, and struggling to maintain. There we go. 218 through Stratford. Now if I hadn't put the power off, I might be going a little faster, but yeah. So that's good. Let's just pull some of the horses down. There you go. So the key is to try and maintain power, try and maintain that speed, and it is a fine art. It really is. I don't know if you can hear look at that, I'm already speeding. Yeah, well, I don't know if this is how it is in real life, but it is such a fine art to keep speed. And you don't want to let off too much, because before you know it, you're going up a hill and you can't climb up. It's so sensitive. And obviously if you check, you can see your gradients if you put your hood on, but the challenge really is watching that arrow and watching it going up and down. But you do find yourself watching that, if you haven't got the hood on especially, you do find yourself watching that speedo a hell of a lot. But I suppose there's no signals to look for, is there? Because everything you need's right there on your display, I guess. But then you want to see the scenery, don't you? Right, 224, and it's maintaining it. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm gonna keep it there at 224. I think. I know it's only one off. It's one off. It's only one, isn't it? So yeah, I'm just gonna run a flat. Are we on a flat? Yeah, and that's why I'm maintaining speed. But I mean, when you come out of this tunnel, if you've not got the, I mean, look, I'm losing power already. Look. And obviously, when you're physically in the train, moving the controller, that'll be a lot easier for you to regulate. And if you know, and obviously as you learn the route, you learn the gradients. You learn where the gradients are. I do find the tunnels bits a bit boring. This is why I can't play the Bakerloo a lot. If I play the Bakerloo, I tend to do it above surface, because I just find it boring. I just feel like I'm just driving through tunnels. Yeah, the Bakerloo's very challenging, because you want to try and go as fast as you can, permitted, and you also want to try and stop the train, and so it is quite a challenging route. But especially when everything looks the same, but I just find it boring. Now, is actually this the tunnel portal? So I'm going to open up, because I know this climbs out. So, because you climb out the tunnel, you see, and then you seriously lose. I mean, I think we're climbing now. Yeah, see, we're climbing now. Look, so I'm going to look at that, losing speed. I'm on full throttle. Look, notch 4, notch. Yeah. So here we go. Look, nice lighting effect. Nice add-on to TSW3. That was dynamic weather as well. So that's why you got that lovely haze. So we're just plateauing now as we come back out, so we should start to speed up again. So I've just got to regulate my speed. All the yards now visible with the 66s in and various trains. Freight train over there on the left hand side, if you can see it, as the speed we're going. More freight trains on the right hand side, containers and stuff. So that's a nice additional thing that's been thrown into this new extended Safe Eastern high speed route. Going along at a cheeky 222 kilometres now, which is roughly about, well, nearly 140 miles an hour. As we start to run in towards the Kent coast, start running towards the Kent countryside. Climbing again, open back up. Quick look at that. It's like, oh, look at that, climbing again. Speed's going down. I've got the throttle wide open. I've got the regulator open. Oh, come on. Look at that. One little false move and I got the brake on, you know what I mean? $223. I think I might just leave it like that. I don't want to jinx it, because I think while I've got maintaining a speed. Oh, losing it. I've lost speed there, even though, yeah. It is useful having that arrow. It's both it's both good and it's a bit of a curse, because you do find yourself finding a slave to that ascending and descending arrow. You do find yourself watching it a lot. Climbing, going over the domestic lines towards, I think that's the line towards Shoebury-Ness and Southend and all that. Is it C2C? I can't remember who runs it now. Go under. But yeah, the gradients are not very forgiving on this at all. Speeding already. Look at that. Look at that. It's trying to keep that speed. 1 minute you can't. 1 minute you're struggling uphill. Next minute you're flying down it like no tomorrow, and you can't. You know, you can't maintain the speed. I wish this had a cruise control. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd make it boring, but at the same time, it'd be. Well, I suppose the challenge would be there, would it, if you had cruise control? See, it's saying. Drop back down, which means it will be. Brake on. Try and make. Oh, in the tunnel. Look at that, keeping that speed. It's such a challenge. Look. Should we go back up now? You can actually feel, you could see that, couldn't you? Did you see the way it just went woof? So you knew you were actually you're going back uphill again. It's like you're in a roller coaster going up the dip. So that was clever. Absolutely. Look at that, look. 200. No, so this should be approaching Everfleet. 212 and still slowing down. So we're approaching Everfleet International, which obviously we're not stopping at. We're going to be flying through on the outside. So the avoider lines are on the outside. So you don't actually go through a platform. You go through the same line that the Eurostars will go through when they're not stopping. There's the flyover to take you towards Gravesend. So you go over the top and you go towards Gravesend. To be fair, it was quite foggy this morning when I was coming home from work. I was on nights coming home. It was really, really foggy. Although this is more of a haze, isn't it? But yeah, it's almost like that. It's trying to tell us what the weather's like. Oh, speeding up again. Try and maintain that speed. Another tunnel. There's not so many tunnels now after this. There's only a couple of little tunnels now, which is why I quite like the route after Ashford, because it's very much outside. Lovely smooth frame rate there. Well, 54. Dropping to 50 from time to time. Let's get that climbing again. Look at that, struggling to get speed. I don't know where these lines come from and go to. I've never really explored it. Obviously, we don't go on those lines, but I assume they're there for a reason. Or was it fly over to get you into the middle platforms or something from the? I don't know. Look at that, I'm completely open, I'm slowing down. How bad's this hill? Just slowing down. Oh, here we go, just going over. You can see us going over, can't you? See us going over the crest of the hill. Is it plateauing, or was it getting a bit of the speed and all? So it mustn't be, the gradient mustn't be as bad. So obviously, Everfleet down to Ashford International and the encompassed shed is part of the new extended route freight train there on the left-hand side. I know Vigilance has gone off twice. I've not had to touch the controller for a while, but I'm sure that'll all change shortly. I'm speeding up now as we've dropped down. Oh, slowing down again. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great sensation to think you're driving a train. I mean, I know I'm doing it in real life, but we're driving along at 140 odd mile an hour. I mean, it was quite nice driving the HST along the GWE at 125. The only problem is I found with the GWE is it just got too repetitive and too boring. Unless you had like varying factors like other trains in the way or being brought down, whatever, which is normally the same thing. It tends to be like you get in the cab and off you go, then you just stop and you're done. Whereas when you got like, I used to like building scenarios where you've got delayed, you got that to slow down. Oh, look at that, speeding up again, look, quite rapidly. Let's get that power handle off. Oh, dropping down a nice hill here. It is like a roller coaster, isn't it? Look. Now climbing again, so power back on. This, I'll tell you one thing, if this is what it's like in real life, those power brake controllers must get absolutely worn out. But I do like the way you can see the gradients. You can physically see them, you know, in some of these cases. I mean, I don't know if it's because you're just going that fast that you just notice Oh, speeding again. Oh. I mean, this is the challenge of this route is learning every single gradient. So I don't think it matters about that. Look at that, I'm still speeding, look. You know, I don't think it matters. I mean, like I say, you can't just jump in and go, right, that's it, power on. I'm just going to leave it. You can't. Well, you can, and you'll just go very, very fast and end up speeding. You have literally got to watch what you're doing. What was that? Oh, driving 395 miles. Nice. Going downhill, but slowing down. It must be so hard to try and keep time when you're trying to battle between the gradients. You know, I quite enjoy it because it means I've got to be constantly watching. I mean, I'm climbing again now. Look, you know, look at that. I've still got 22 miles, but obviously 140 miles an hour. Those 22 miles. I mean, it's saying I've got 20 minutes until I get there. But you know, 140 miles an hour now. Those 22 miles won't be long, will they? I mean, that's, you know, 140 miles in an hour. That's, you know, 70 and half an hour. You know, 35 miles in 15 minutes. So, you know, and 17 and a half miles in 7.5 minutes. So 22 miles is what, 10 minutes if you carry on like this? Well, I say that, I've just dropped below 200. That's how good that gradient was. In another tunnel. I think this one's a little longer than some of the other tunnels. Not, this is powering, speeding up again. I'm dropping down. Yep. 1 in 100. I don't know what that blink. I assume that white flashing is the tunnel building, the draw distance. Sounds like there's a light. No, that isn't a light. Sounds good. Whee! That effect is nice, but sometimes, I mean, there's been occasions when you can't see, like on domestics, we use domestic, you can't see the signal lamps, which is even worse when you're approaching what could be an adverse signal. I had it outside. Oh, where was it? Gillingham. Oh, 230. Oh my God! How did that happen? 232 kilometres an hour. Outside Gillingham, and I had a yellow signal, previous signal. And I took my time, and as I'm looking through the haze, it looks like it's a double yellow. Thinking, oh, brilliant, started to power off. As the haze cleared, it was a red. I'm like, oh my God, so I had to quickly stop. I mean, that could just be the colour settings on my thing. But then again, I suppose it's authentic because you do get signals obscured by light. I can't get up, look, full whack, and I'm you know. I mean, look at that, 17 miles now. I'm not doing 225 either, but you're sort of looking at a good 8, 9, 10 minutes before we get towards Ashford. Just got to concentrate and remember swapping signalling system as you approach Stratford's platform, Ashford's platform. Climbing, you can see, yeah, you can just make out, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but because obviously it depends on your device, you can just see, look at that, you can see it coming, like, absolutely dipping down. So I'm gonna, oh, another Javelin coming your way. First one I've seen, I think. I'm gonna just ease the power off. I'm just gonna leave it neutral. So I'm in neutral at the moment, I'm coasting, because it's already speeding, so. God, there you go, look, climbing again, open back up. You've literally, and the thing is as well, like the brake, you can just touch it, but the power to get it back up bills, you've literally got to open it straight up to full throttle, full power. You can actually, if on the TMS, you can actually see the power band. You can just see it in the left hand corner there. You can see how much power is going. Oh, because obviously it uses a form of rheostatic braking, which is where it reverses power. Come on. Oh God. Yeah, so it is a bit of a tricky route, really, if you want to for maintaining speed. It really is a tricky route, and there's some hellish gradients to try and keep to the. I'm sure the Eurostar plays through. I mean, like no tomorrow. I'm sure it just plays through these gradients like it's going out of fashion. But again, you know, you've still got to keep them at speed, and I bet they're a beast to behold. Well in Kent now, well in the Kent countryside. We see, sometimes I don't know where I'm slowing down because I pulled the power off. I'm slowing down because I'm hitting a gradient. Yeah, okay, I've had the hood on. That'll probably tell me a bit more, but I'm not putting it on. I want to drive this as realistic as possible. That's part of the challenge. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Totally get it, and that's absolutely fine. And it can make it. It does make it a hell of a lot. It does make it a lot more difficult. I personally feel it does, and it can sometimes catch me out. But you know what? I don't care. That's part of the challenge. So we're on now, 11 mile. See, that 11 miles. So we've done 6 mile in what? Barely 3 or 4 minutes. Barely 3 minutes. Unbelievable. So concentration as we fast approach Ashford is key. So it's a case of watching your in-cab signalling, because that's gonna, if you've got adverse signals approaching, we should have adverse signals anyway, because you'll have at least a red on the end of Ashford platform if you're going straight in, I would have thought. So you're going to be brought down by the in-cab signalling before you jump on the domestic signalling. Losing my concentration. I mean, I suddenly lost what speed I was trying to stay at. Oh God, it is power handle roulette almost. You know what I mean? Look at that. Fantastic. I don't know if anyone else has got another system that they use to try and keep this speed, but I'd love to speak to a CHS driver who drives these, so I can understand if this is how it's like, because obviously we are basing it on a simulation, which I'd like to think DCG are pretty good at getting it relatively real, but obviously, you know, based on what I've seen from driver experiences, I mean, it'll never be 100%, but I bet it could be damn close. Lovely curve again. I mean, I loved this route before they extended it anyway, I'll admit. I just found it a bit boring doing the same things over and over again, but now that they've rebuilt the timetable, now that they've extended the route, it's so much better. Be looking forward to a new route soon, hopefully. I don't know if they're working on any new routes. I know they're working on some new trains. Oh, here we go. Start slowing down then. Apparently there's been a picture of the Classic 6 on the RHTT, which is coincidental given it's autumn coming up very shortly, or leaf fall season. So the 225 is flashing. That's to tell me that I need to start slowing down because the next speed is going to be restricted. We should find out on this flag here. So 200, which is good. So we can relax a little bit. I'm going to take it steady and be careful, because it's so easy to get mixed up with the speed of the trains and the actual signalling telling you to slow down, because it's a bit of both really. You have got to be careful. So I'm just going to gradually slow down a bit. I'm not going to be cocky. I mean, 9:42 and it's only 9:31 and we're what, 3 miles outside Ashford? So I'm not going to be covered. What does this say? So 160 and so I'm quite happy to keep that speed. It's not flashing at the moment, so I'm going to... That says that you should be doing 160, which I am. Although it says the line speed's 225 still. So that tells me it's the signalling that's bringing me down. So yeah, if you see that red dot's there, that means your line speed's still 225, but the blue dot is the recommended signal speed, the recommended in-cab signalling speed. This is where the HUD does sometimes help. I mean, because the actual speed of the line will be 160, just under a mile. But don't get confused with the signalling. Do not get confused with the signalling. And also, you will start seeing boards as well as you approach Ashford. So I'm slowing it down a little bit. This is me being really cautious, by the way, because I find it a little bit disorientating coming off in-cab signalling and speeds to go on to the domestic speeds, as in using physical infrastructure to tell me what to do. There's a tunnel approaching, there we go. I'm passing over, so what will this tell me to do? 130, so that's good. I'll do 130. So I'm going to just keep slowing down, I think. So obviously I'm at adverse signals, aren't I? I'm approaching adverse signals, so I'm going to take it steady. And then I think there's some crossovers at about 40 kilometres an hour anyway, so you've just got to be careful. It's telling me to speed up. Kilometres an hour. Now I'm on domestic. See, this is what confuses the hell out of me. Sea line. Oh, it's 100 kilometres an hour. And I'm on a single yellow, so I better start slowing down, better I? So it racks my brain because you're following the domestic, you're following the in-cab signalling speed, but then you're looking at the boards and you've got to look at the signals, the actual physical signal. I'm approaching a red, aren't I? Look. Oh my god. So I mean, this is it's so off-putting. Should stop though, I think. But this is it. It fries my brain. This bit does. Just that changeover. It's the same when we get to Pancras. It's a simple premise. It absolutely is. It's just getting your mindset to swap over, to understand what the in-cab signal is trying to tell you, and then switching it over to adverse. When I'm on a red, so I've switched I pressed S on my keyboard to switch my reverse it to neutral, and I'm going to put my DRA on to remind me that I'm on a red signal. Just normal general practice you should be doing really in real life. I'm assuming as the only route I can go is into that platform, that is where I'm heading, but there's a 375 stood in it at the moment, so obviously I'm not going there. Well, actually not due until 9:42, so I'm a little bit early. So we're just going to wait here for a few minutes. Weather's been alright, hasn't it? It's cleared up a little bit now. It was a bit hazy coming down, wasn't it? But it's a bit clear now. I like what they've done. I'm playing on the PS5 in case anyone hasn't already realised. What I noticed, it got a little bit laggy as we approach the 375, isn't it? 375 and a 377. Is that right? Am I saying that right? A 375 and a 377. Is that right? Is that supposed to be like that? Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm sure I've seen it before in our IRL in real life, but I didn't realise we had it on here. Yeah, it's a 377 straight 4. Oh, excellent. You know what? I did not realise we were a double set. See, that might also be another. Whilst I'm yapping until forgot, I didn't realise I had the signal gone. Right, let's turn off my DRA then. Set my reverser. And then let's get moving. So you've got 40 mile an hour and you've got 60 kilometres now, because obviously, in theory, if you're still on the overedge, you'll be on kilometres now. If you're on the third rail, you'll be doing 60. So if I would have swapped over, which I could have done, to be fair, I could have swapped power over there, to be honest, but I didn't. You don't need to. Oh. Taking a bit steady Eddie into Ashford International platform. This is actually the first train I've driven into Ashford International, by the way. I've actually not driven any other train. I've driven down and I've had a few mishaps, but this is the actual first time I've actually come in and terminated a train at Ashford International. Well, I'm not terminating it because it's an empty stock, probably going onto the it's likely to go onto the shed, I would assume. Where's the stop boards? What? I'll try and find the oh, there's stop boards there. I'll try and find the stop boards on the platform before I'm on a 12 car, and I say. And then it's telling me I've stopped. Oh. Yeah, to get onto the depot, you've got to swap. So yeah. So then what happens? Like I explained earlier on, you get that VCB, MCB light, and then what you've got to do then is you put your shoes down, and you get your line volt, and that's it. You're done. And now I got to wait till 9:42. Yeah, I've stopped a bit too far up the platform, but I don't really care. I don't really care. It's 465 over there, look. In domestic, so there's looks like one of the GWE liveried Javelins there. Yeah. A little exterior explore. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame they haven't been able to put the Eurostars in, and we can just watch them flying over the flyover or something like that. That'd be really good, because you could have a walk around, couldn't you, and just watch trains coming in and out, and just watch the odd Eurostar flying over the top. That'd be good. Oh, I assume that's going forward. So where's that going to? That doesn't say. Mine just says not in service. To make sure my signal hasn't come off. Nope. I've not been on the depot yet. So there's a bit of, oh, he's off. Well, looking at the fact the train's empty, I'm assuming that's an empty stock as well. I have been down to Dover. It's still on overheads. Still on overheads, look. Interesting. Nice. How'd you get back onto the... I assume you must just go straight on. I was thinking, how'd you get onto the flyover? I assume you must... Another Javelin there, look. Yeah. Oh, that's the one I saw earlier. I assume you must just go straight on. Oh, it's coming now. Coming in from... I assume that's coming in from the Dover direction. Yeah. A few more minutes. But it's been quite an exciting little... Watching a few trains run by. It's good now we've got this extension and the extra timetable. Very good. Yeah, there's a weaving, and it must have been waiting for platform off that one that's just departed. Stopping location is indicated, so I must have to draw it onto the depot then. I've often thought about removing that GWE livery because we don't really use it, so I might uninstall it, because otherwise it keeps turning up like this randomly. Although it's good to have something different, it doesn't look real, it doesn't look good, does it? So I think I might remove it after my lab won't miss it anyway. $30 miles an hour. because we're now doing the miles an hour. So if you look, now we're on domestics, we're on the mile an hour. No, I haven't put my DRA or changed my reverser, actually, tut, which I should have done, but I haven't. And I'm not going to bother now because I should be moving in a minute. But yeah, I would normally put my DRA on and change my reverser to neutral. Still do me. I've done my reverser. There you go. That makes me feel better, doesn't it? Alright, so that's... Oh, now I've got to wait till 9:44. Why does it do that? Now I'm going to put my DRA on. If you need to know how to toggle the HUD, if you're on a PlayStation 5 controller or the Xbox controller, I can't remember what the number. On the right hand side, we've got your start or select start, I think it is. Hold that down, it will toggle your HUD on and off. Or if you've got a keyboard, it's just F1. Another minute or so. It's a shame you can't do much with this. You can't, this TMS, you can't really do a lot with it. Not really much of a, there's not much you can really do with it. No. It's a shame. I've downloaded all the preserved collection now onto the PS5 that I've got, the UK stuff and the locos and stuff, which is virtually everything. Other than the 1938 tubes, that's the only thing I haven't got. Oh, and I haven't downloaded the previous Isle of Wight. I've not bothered with it, so I won't play it while I've got the new one. Well, I'm not going anywhere yet. I haven't got a signal up. Denied. Wait for signals to change. Okay, okay. Oh. Ah, wait for this bugger to move, look. So once he moves, we should be able to get going. So they sit and make you wait for 2 minutes, then sit and make you wait for until the time you're supposed to get in, then sit and make you wait for another 2 minutes, and then you sit and wait on a red signal because you're waiting for a train to Shunt Yard. Lovely. In the meantime, my recording, you only get 60 minutes recording on a PS5. That's rapidly getting close. Mind you, it's supposed to take 52 minutes this year, so I suppose it should still be within tolerance. Patiently waiting for my signal. The trader's pulled up now. Where is it? God, he's taking his time, isn't he? God, was it 5 mile an hour or something? Oh my God. Good thing it's not a double set. I mean, obviously, in real life, you wouldn't get this beautiful option of being able to watch the trains that are delaying, that's stopping you from going in the yard, but we have that. Ooh. luxurious. Oh dear! So I've just stretched me under my arms hurting. Ow! I think I need to get back on the. I do a lot of stretches normally, but I haven't done some for a while. Oh, he's speeding up now. Oh, speeding up now. Right, so we should be on the move in a minute. Don't know if I get a single yellow or get the 2 dots. Whether I get the subsidiary signal with or a signal or a yellow with the theatre. Sometime today. Oh, it's long gone. Yep, that lever's done. Just making sure everything's going the right way. Right. What am I waiting for now? God, you see I'm very patient, can't you? But it's like, well, what am I waiting for now? There's like nothing around. That route's set. Isn't it? Let's have a look. Yeah, that route's set. That route's set correctly. That route's wrong. Maybe it was that. That route's right. That route's right. Sometimes you don't know if it's because of the route set. That route's right. Hmm. Any ideas? Typical this is. Just typical. Typical poor. Anything else? Is there anything ahead I've got to change? Oh, for God's sake. Change that route maybe? Maybe that might be stopping the signal from coming off. Come off. Now I don't know whether that's coincidental or it's because I pulled that off, but anyway, we've got a signal, so let's go. Now I'm not sure if I did that when I moved those points ahead of the stop point. Maybe that is why it's come off, or it just coincidentally came off. So I've got a signal here with a Y, which assumes Y route, Y line. If you're local, got local knowledge of the depot. So let's get a bit of power. It's 800 odd yards until I stop, so, and it looks like it's 15 going into the siding, so I'm gonna better slow down. But I'm not going to those sidings because that's a siding, so I'll speed up again. See, I told you I hadn't done this before, so I'm still learning the route. Come on, God. I think it's 10 then, isn't it, look? Because I'm going over into the siding zone, so I must be 10 miles an hour. Yes, I am. Another difficult one trying to maintain speed. What's that there? What's that poster for? What's that one? Oh, can't see it. Going through the train wash. keep that on there so I know where to stop. Although sometimes it's playing the obvious, it's usually at a signal. Oh, I'm speeding. I did not see a 5 mile an hour board at all. Again, poor. And that's why that one took so long to come off. Didn't even realise. Jeez. I suppose, mind you say that, you're going through a train rush, I suppose you would only go 5 mile an hour, wouldn't you, for a train rush? But hey ho. Yeah, look, those points ahead of me, they were the ones I changed to normal, and it looks like that may have been the reason why the route came in, because you stopped just in advance of them. And let's get stopped. And there we are. Done. Excellent. Now look at that. How interesting is that? Look, if you take a look at that speed graph, obviously a lot of these are hills, all the declines, and they're all hills, aren't they? But you can see the trying to maintain the speed is incredibly difficult on that route. But yeah, so yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's a bit of a long one, 51 minutes and stuff, but I think sometimes it's nice to re-watch instead of actually playing them. I've only got a silver look. That's probably because of this little speeding incident I did here. So, and probably because I'm probably slightly late as well after fannying around, working out how to get onto the depot. Although, to be fair, it does say 52 minutes, and I've done it in 51:55, so can't complain too much. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.